Alrighty, everybody. So this is a chart of Tezos. I'm already zoomed in here on the 1 hour chart. I'm going to show you guys exactly why I think Tezos is very, very well suited to have a nice breakout. Definitely retest these highs up here that we set in early March around $3.30. The next level I'm looking for us to test is this, really capitulative high we put in over here on February 12th, or euphoric high, I should say. And then we swept those highs and structured down here at $4. I think all those are price targets that are in play here in the very near term. I'll tell you why. So the first thing I'm going to look at, I'm going to set up a trend line here. This trend line is very important. This is a trend line that contained price all the way. See, trend lines connect the wicks. Contained price all the way since this capitulation as you connect this high or this low with this low, and then it broke down here on this this structure that this was when the entire market really fell down here on May 9th. Bitcoin topped out at 10K. Everything crashed below that, but we respected this trend line. That's very important to understand. That's the first reason why I think that we broke down below, and a lot of people got forced to sell as they thought, hey, this trend is dead. I'm going to be a seller now, or I have my stop losses below this trend line. A lot of people had their stop losses below that trend line, and that's what engineered enough liquidity in order for longs to get filled right here at this prior resistance right here. Which, if we're in a bull market, the bulls should be defending prior resistances that got breaking out of, right? So let's just say, so we have a horizontal resistance that held. We also have this support level right here, matched with some high volume that held. Here's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing what you would really kind of call like an inverted head and shoulders pattern, where we have a low, a lower low, and then we tried to swing another low. We're definitely going to kind of lasso our way up to this little volume area at 278 here in the near term. That's where we're going to expect to see some of these sellers who are underwater right here. Anybody who is using leverage in trading this on a breakout, they've been kind of liquidated essentially on this, or they're going to try and sell their positions once we get back to a break even up here. But anybody who's going to be a seller at this point around 280 is fighting the trend. Guys, anybody who's a seller at 280 is fighting the trend. What is the trend? The trend, if we start, on a lower time frame, the trend is clearly up. This was a big consolidation zone. Then we had a little mini consolidation zone. You see these mini triangles, mini consolidation, a big breakout. And then people were playing this range that formed right here. There was a little box range that formed right here. From the low to the high up here, back to the low, and you set a range. And we tried to break out of it here, which provided enough liquidity for shorts to get filled and go down on that capitulation. Long story short, we have a lot of room to run, because if you zoom out, throw on an 8-hour chart, you can clearly see that we are, we're very clearly trending up. And I'll even go over to a price chart for, maybe Bitfinex, which has some more price history. We're clearly in an uptrend here over time, and that's the same line right there. I'm pretty excited about Tezos, and I'll show you. If you throw on a long-term downtrend line here, you see some resistance that is going to sneak up on us next to this 280 price level. But I'm pretty confident that with all the things that are going on in the world, people are really looking to crypto as something that's exciting, as a new asset class, something that has a lot of room for growth. So the narrative is just perfect for crypto to just acquire much more users and much more market adoption. We saw a lot of selling. That selling, for instance, right here, we had massive selling on these down days, which was all absorbed by the market. So long story short, we have, a resistance here that got held up as support here. We're going to go back in and oscillate down here in the we might make some moves like here for a month or so, consolidating back down here. It's going to be like a little heartbeat as we accumulate more volume here. As we accumulate more volume here, this high volume node will eventually pinch off and you will break out to this next high. See what's going on down there. Probably come back down to test, test to make sure that these volume guys were really truly buyers, and then we'll make our way for new highs. So bottom line, things are shaping up really well for Tezos. I'll look over here at some other things. Like if we look at Ethereum, Ethereum is also looking to have a very similar pattern. Where you had that same trend line that was violated very shortly. The trend line was violated very shortly. Everybody kind of got faked out. That's what you call a fake out. This is a fake out right here. I'll type that. You'll hear me use the word fake out all the time. That's a fake out. So that means it sucks in a lot of people who are scared to sell at the perfect time for smart money to be buying. So it basically gets in everybody who was a short-term player who bought right up here at this peak, thinking Bitcoin's going to go to the moon tomorrow, or Ethereum's going to go to the moon tomorrow, and then they quickly lose, in the next few days, they lose 20%. It goes down too much, and they get squeezed, and they think, oh my God, I just lost, if they put in $10,000, they just lost $2,000 in a couple of days, and they think, okay, this game's not for me. I'm out. At that perfect point, right? It comes right at the perfect point for a long-term buyer to step in, right? You're at long-term diagonal support. Same thing happened. I mean, we'll look at Litecoin, similar structure. A little bit less bullish because we haven't really had a confirmed breakout, a very strong breakout above these highs. Litecoin's a little less bullish, but we are consolidating here again. You look really nice high volume node, right here, right around there. I'm very, very, very expectant for a breakout in Litecoin because it has been very depressed relative to the rest of the market. We could look at like EOS, for instance. EOS had a pretty good breakout. But again, we see the same thing. A longer term, this had a much longer term stop run, or essentially. This might be a little bit of a weaker coin because we really broke below those highs right there. But we're back down at these highs. So EOS, the bottom is in for EOS as well. Basically, I'm saying the bottom is in for a lot of these coins on this recent correction that started here at the beginning of May / the end of April. Some of the other coins that we have, ADA, USD. This one's been pretty strong. I drew this resistance zone back when price was right above here, saying this is where we're going to be coming into contact with pretty soon. And it looks like ADA's got a lot of strength. We were about to break above this, and the same thing happened. This is the same pattern that you could probably expect. ADA is actually stronger than most of these other coins by the looks of this chart, since we didn't even really violate this trend. We didn't really violate this trend as much as we did in the other ones. It held up a lot stronger. So you could say that ADA is trending a little bit stronger than some of these other ones. This is going to be where a lot of sellers are stepping in. But again, I'm of the belief here that these sellers are going to be, they're not going to be strong enough to really resist the natural growing demand for these currencies. We're going to slice through that, in my opinion, like hot butter. I think that these sellers have lost conviction over time. And the only people that are growing more convicted here of their market thesis is the buyers. The people that are growing more confident right now are the buyers. That goes for Cardano, that goes for Bitcoin, that goes for Litecoin, that goes for EOS, that goes for all these cryptocurrencies. Again, because what we're losing confidence in is the dollar, right? The US dollar is going to be going down in value. Cryptos are going to be going up in value. Why? Because the US dollar is the monetary base that is being expanded exponentially. So as you expand this, even if this stays stable in value, because this is decreasing in value, it's depreciating in value by design 2% a year, and even more now that we're printing so much money by the Fed, right? And this is stable, this is predictable. You're going to have some volatility, but in the long run, this is going to appreciate in value. Number go up, essentially. The number will go up of this, and that'll be the price, priced in terms of dollars, because the dollar is what's being depreciated, which is viewed as appreciation in the asset or the numerator of that fraction. So wanted to do a quick market update here for all you guys. We'll look at Bitcoin here, for instance, on Bitstamp. This is very bullish. This is exactly what you want to see. Tons of volume come in. This support really held up well. It got broken through a little bit, Tapped, tapped, tapped. Now we see a lot of wicks. Everybody got their bids filled, and we're making higher highs. And again, this point of control right here, this volume point of control around 8,700, boom, as you see that yellow line, that was the line in the sand. That was what we needed to beat, and we beat it. So I'm expecting a huge move in Bitcoin as well to come test the breakdown level from here, which was around 10.5, the stop out level here, which was around 10.5, and boom, the point that we couldn't get up above here, which was about 10.5. So 10.5 is controlled price since September of 2018, and I think that's going to go down really, really quickly. So that's how I look at the markets. Again, I'll be doing these all the time. If you're in our Lifer membership group, this is the kind of analysis that you get. So yeah, so I'm just popping this out there. I hope everyone in Crypt Nation is having a great day. All right, guys, stay tuned.